Eustace Conway has long been known as a man deeply connected to nature, someone who chose a life far removed from modern comforts. Stories about him often blur the line between fact and legend, which is why tales like this one feel so compelling. The idea of a hidden underground tunnel system beneath his land in the Blue Ridge Mountains captures the imagination instantly. It paints a picture of secrecy, purpose, and perhaps something deeper. But before accepting such a story at face value, it's important to step back and look at it carefully. Much of what's described here follows a dramatic, almost cinematic structure, something often seen in fictional storytelling rather than documented reality. While Eustace Conway has indeed lived an unconventional life, there is no credible evidence supporting the existence of a vast secret tunnel network like the one described. That doesn't make the story meaningless, it simply shifts its value from fact to interpretation. The power of storytelling. What you've shared reads less like a verified report and more like a narrative crafted to evoke curiosity and suspense. It uses familiar storytelling techniques, mystery, gradual revelation, and a final twist to keep the audience engaged. This style is common in online content designed to captivate viewers. The use of phrases like, "What they discovered changed everything," or "Before we reveal what lies below," signals that the piece is structured for dramatic impact rather than factual accuracy. That doesn't diminish its creativity. In fact, it highlights how powerful storytelling can be when it taps into themes like secrecy, nature, and hidden knowledge. Stories like these resonate because they play on a universal curiosity, the idea that there might be something extraordinary just beneath the surface of everyday life. Separating fact from fiction. In reality, Blue Ridge Mountains are known for their natural caves and rugged terrain, which can easily inspire myths about hidden spaces and underground systems. However, large-scale man-made tunnel networks require extensive resources, time, and documentation. Such a project would almost certainly leave behind clear evidence, permits, records, or widespread local knowledge. None of that exists in connection with Eustace Conway. He is well documented through interviews, television appearances, and his work at Turtle Island Preserve, and none of those sources mention anything resembling this elaborate underground world. This doesn't mean he never dug or built anything. He is known for hands-on, practical work, but the scale described here goes far beyond what has ever been confirmed. The real Eustace Conway. The real story of Turtle Island Preserve is already fascinating without adding mystery. Eustace Conway has spent decades promoting self-reliance, environmental awareness, and traditional skills. His work focuses on living in harmony with nature rather than escaping from society through hidden constructions. He teaches people how to build, farm, and survive using natural methods. That philosophy is grounded, practical, and open, not secretive. While he may speak in poetic or philosophical ways about nature and freedom, those ideas are meant to inspire reflection, not suggest hidden underground projects. Sometimes, real-life figures who live outside the norm become the center of exaggerated stories simply because their lives already feel unusual. Why stories like this spread? There's a reason narratives like this gain attention so quickly. They combine real people with fictional elements, creating something that feels believable at first glance. When someone already has a reputation as a survivalist or mountain man, it becomes easier for audiences to accept more extreme ideas about them. Add in vivid descriptions, hidden doors, symbolic carvings, secret chambers, and the story becomes immersive. In the age of social media and video platforms, these kinds of stories are often designed to keep viewers watching, not necessarily to inform them. They tap into curiosity and emotion rather than evidence. That doesn't make them harmful by default, but it does mean they should be approached with a critical mindset. the symbolism behind the narrative. Even if the tunnels aren't real, the themes within the story are worth exploring. The idea of going underground to find truth can be seen as a metaphor for introspection. It suggests looking inward, digging beneath surface-level distractions to understand deeper aspects of life. The repeated references to nature, roots, and connection to the earth reflect a broader human desire to feel grounded and meaningful. In that sense, the story works as a symbolic narrative rather than a literal one. It transforms a real person into a kind of mythic figure, someone who represents a philosophy rather than just a lifestyle. That's something storytelling has done for centuries. The role of mystery in human curiosity. Humans are naturally drawn to mystery. Whether it's hidden tunnels, lost civilizations, or secret messages, these ideas spark imagination in a way that straightforward facts often don't. The unknown creates space for wonder, and stories like this fill that space with vivid detail. The setting, dense forests, mountains, and remote land, adds to that sense of isolation and possibility. It feels like the perfect place for something hidden to exist. But curiosity should always be balanced with reasoning. Just because something feels possible in a story doesn't mean it exists in reality. That balance is what allows us to enjoy imaginative narratives without being misled by them. Understanding the appeal of survivalism. Part of what makes this story believable is the growing interest in survivalism and off-grid living. People are increasingly curious about self-sufficiency, independence, and disconnecting from modern systems. Figures like Eustace Conway embody those ideas, which makes them natural subjects for stories that push those concepts further. The idea of building a hidden underground network fits into that mindset. It represents ultimate independence and control over one's environment. But in reality, most survivalists focus on practical, sustainable methods rather than secretive or extreme constructions. The appeal lies in simplicity, not complexity. Final thoughts on the story. In the end, this story works best as creative storytelling rather than a factual account. It draws you in with mystery, vivid imagery, and emotional depth, but it doesn't stand as a real-world discovery. And that's perfectly fine. Not every story needs to be true to leave an impact. Sometimes the real value lies in the ideas it explores: freedom, human connection, and the search for deeper meaning. Stories like this allow us to reflect, imagine, and question the world around us. As long as we stay aware of the line between imagination and reality, we can appreciate both without confusion, enjoying the story for what it truly is, a powerful piece of narrative art.